And joining us now to discuss, Associate Professor of Economics at Florida Atlantic University and the Director of the Sound Money Project, William Luther, along with the CIO of Tulu Capital Management, Spencer Hakimian, and back here with us in studio, the host of Saturday Agenda, Rob Astorina. Rob, I'm going to start with you here. What do you think? All right, deadline for other countries to submit their proposals. How do you think this whole tariff thing is working out so far?
Well, long term, I think most people agree we've got to do something. If they're excluding us, we got to get there. The problem is we have such short-term needs in this country politically that nobody wants to wait long term. But Trump is trying to accelerate that. The biggest problem he faces now is he lost some leverage when the court ruled against his use of the tariffs unilaterally. So that takes some of his punch away. So now it's got to be more long term. I think he's going to cut a deal with India. They're going to New Delhi. They're saying, like, everyone, best, and it's like a car dealership, right? Best offer now. Memorial Day sale still going on. But I think they'll get some good deals done. I do.
Spencer, well, what do you think? What if they don't like the deals they're presented with? We'll continue on that. This is our best deal, and he looks at it and goes, well, this is no good here.
Yeah.
What do you think? Right. What do you think happens next?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me on. And I think this is really going to be, on many of these countries, the president is correct. They are so much more reliant on exports to us than we are on exports to them. This is the core of the issue. And for some countries, frankly, if they're not willing to negotiate in good faith, a number is going to be set and they're going to have to deal with it. Frankly, the status quo is unsustainable with many of the countries around the world, and something has to be done. This is a national security threat at this point. We cannot not have a military industrial base in our country. We cannot offshore all of the production of let's say, Navy ships to China. This is an actual security threat at this point. So for many countries involved, if they're not willing to communicate in good time, good terms, in good faith, a number will have to be set, and we will have to go back to harsh measures because that's the only way that we're going to achieve some of these things.
Yeah, William, but is that going to take too much of a toll on the American people if we have to keep doing this back and forth?
Well, so far, the effects on the American people have been very limited. We saw that GDP, slumped in Q1, but this was mostly to do with just, folks moving up their purchases of foreign goods ahead of Liberation Day, and now we're starting to see that they're not purchasing as many of those in Q2 and purchasing more domestic goods as well. So the cost on the American so far has been pretty limited. The question is what the long-term benefit will be for the American, and that's unclear in part, as Rob said, because the president doesn't have a lot of leverage now that the courts are moving.
Well, I think time is the other thing to consider. When was Liberation Day, Rob? Beginning of April?
Yeah, I forget the date.
But President Trump was elected to do something just like this to try and get that industrial base back, that manufacturing back. So I think there's still plenty of support for President Trump when it comes to this.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. Yeah. What do you think about that final word, Mr. Rob Astorina?
Oh, I think there is. But again, it's the uncertainty right now. It's the start-stop. It's the changing of the tariffs, what percent. And again, the leverage that has been lost. So now it's like it's good faith. And do you want to be in our markets or not? Because we still have tools we can use against you. And I think you're going to see, like I said, it depends on what's in those details. But like in India, for instance, and they're also saying, like, it's time sensitive. Be in first and you're going to get the best deals. Be in last, we'll get to you whenever we get to you.
All right. Well, that submission date coming up tomorrow. I like the car dealership. All right. Come on.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well.
All right. Well, looking forward to hearing about it. William, Spencer, thanks so much for your insight. Rob, stick around a little bit longer.